So the project I'm going to show you is the Skyline with the watercolor background. This is identical to the one I did of Chance the Rapper, the silhouette. The only difference is instead of doing Chance the Rapper, I'm doing a Chicago skyline. So I am in Google Images. I typed in Chicago skyline black and white. I'm going to save it to my device. I'm going to open up Adobe Photoshop Sketch, start a new project, and I'm going to add an image layer, and the image is from my iPad. I'm going to go to Photos, and there is my Chicago skyline. I'm going to size it, make it big, and hit Done. Now, if you look at your layers on the right, there's probably a blank sketch layer. If there is, move it to the top so it sits above your image, just like I'm about to do here. So if you click on it, you click and hold, and you can move them around. So if you look right now, I have a blank sketch layer on top, and underneath that, I have my image layer. That's what you want yours to look like. I'm going to click on my sketch layer because I'm ready to sketch. My brush is black. I'm making it a kind of like a medium size. And now that I'm on the sketch layer, I'm going to just do my best to draw over the city skyline. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfectly straight lines. That's okay. If you were using the full version of Photoshop, you would be able to do that. You can't in Adobe Sketch, but that's okay. So here I go. I'm going to speed it up while I'm coloring over the city skyline. Now for the background, I'm going to go back to Google Images. I already did this. I selected a Google image of a watercolor. I literally typed in the word watercolor, and this is what I found, and I downloaded it. Now, you need the watercolor to be in the layer underneath the skyline. So if you look at my layers, the skyline's on the top, the watercolor's underneath, and the original image, I shut it off, hitting the eyeball. So all you can see is my drawing with the watercolor picture behind it. Now I need to move my skyline down a little bit because it's in the center of the page. So you just click on the image on the layer with the drawing, hit transform, and move it down. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. You just, again, you select on that layer and go to transform, and then you can move it around. Now, if you don't want to use a Google image, you don't have to. You can actually make your own watercolor background. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to start a sketch layer, and with my watercolor paintbrush, I'm just painting lots of random colors. Easy peasy. The flow is very low, which makes it very see-through. Then once I do that, then I'm going to put my skyline on top. You could also put Chance the Rapper on top. Once you set it in place, you're going to make a new sketch layer, and on that sketch layer, you're going to trace over the city skyline or the silhouette or whatever it is that you're coloring. It's very helpful if you click on your skyline image and turn the opacity down. That way, when you're on the sketch layer and you're drawing over it, you can see how it looks. So if you look carefully, the reason I can